Peace and infinite blessings to you, my divine brothers and sisters. It's just Thanksgiving and it's a day to give thanks. And it's crazy because I woke up this morning. I, I don't really do holidays and stuff. Like I just do my own thing. I'm kind of in my own world. I practice my own beliefs. I challenge everything, like every social construct. I just challenge it because I'm interested in what's real, like what's real beyond what people say is real, like what's the essence of things, what's actually real, not what concepts that we've all agreed on. Now we think they're real because a bunch of people agreed on these concepts, but no, what's actually real, right? So I don't really like do the holiday things, but you know, crazy. This morning I wake up and on my heart is like, yo, just like I really want to do this video on giving thanks. So I just actually forgot about it. But then it came back to me just now that I wanted to do that. And I think it's really more than anything, giving thanks is a habit that we have to make strong within ourselves. Like it isn't nature for us to just wake up and give thanks. For some people it is. Some people wake up and pray, but to have an inclination towards gratitude is something that generally has to be taught within our society, self-taught as adults, because our societal programming actually makes us inclined towards negativity. So if you watch television, read magazines, watch how people react around you, people are very sensitive to negative stimuli and they're just not as sensitive to positive. So if something bad happens in your life, for instance, most people, like certain things, people can spend, listen, like something bad can happen and somebody can spend years, literally years, just stuck on that thing and how they never got that promotion and the other guy got it and they should have got it, or how they were the one who should have won the award, or that was the girl they were supposed to marry, or whatever it might be. People can get stuck on negative energy for years. But our reaction towards positive is a lot shorter. Like the high of extremely positive events, like at best, usually lasts a couple months. And that's like ridiculously long. I would say the average is probably 3 or 4 days for something that is really a really emotive, positive experience. But it's just a habit. It doesn't have to be that way. It's simply the fact that that's what we were trained in. We were trained unknowingly and rather unwillingly and helplessly to become these beings that are just inclined to react negatively to things. And you hear it every day. I was actually at a coffee shop today, sitting on the side of the road, and somebody just walked past me, and I heard a conversation complaining. I think it was the only conversation I ever heard all day. It was a complaint. But that's what people do. Like people will complain about things. They'll complain about who did that, who did what to them, what injustices they're facing at work, what their spouse isn't doing good enough. We have an inclination towards negativity, and it's our responsibility as adults to realize that and to do something about that. I believe that every single person has a moment of realization where they are presented with the idea of something greater that can happen for themselves. A spiritual awakening of sorts, the seed being planted. Not the whole thing, but just the seed being planted where you're realizing that, hey, there's something more for me and I need to pursue it. Most of us don't give ourselves permission to pursue it. We kind of write it off and they're just like, oh, whatever, what was that? Like, I'm not going to worry about that. I got to worry about paying bills. I got to worry about taking my kid to school tomorrow. I got to worry about what's going on at work, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of us write it off, but we all have that moment where we're curious about what's really true for ourselves, and that is our spiritual journey. Like, no one has the same spiritual journey, or sometimes we don't even have similar spiritual journeys to people that we love or who are near us, but we all get called towards our spiritual awakening. And when that happens, when we basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you haven't got your call yet, this is your call. It starts with gratitude. Spiritual awakening, really, in a big way, starts with gratitude, because gratitude is kind of, it's like a gateway drug. You know how they say like marijuana is this gateway drug, where if you try marijuana, by the way, I don't believe this is true, but if you try marijuana, you're more likely to try other drugs. Well, if you try gratitude, you're more likely to get tapped into other spiritual things, because gratitude raises your vibration. And when your vibration is raised, your consciousness is raised. And when your consciousness is raised, what that literally means, again, with your vibration being raised, it literally means that you resonate at a frequency, at a high frequency. So things that also vibrate at that high frequency are now coming into your life. So it's a lot more spiritual things actually entering your life than before. So I'm here to give myself first, but all of us, a conscious moment, because I believe that everyone who's watching this video is watching for a reason. I'm gonna bet that at least 3 of the people who are watching this had a moment this week where something special happened to them around gratitude or a spiritual awakening. It was on your mind, you were thinking about it, you were wondering about it, and didn't know the next step to take. Here is your next step. Practice gratitude, whatever that means. For me, that means giving thanks for everything. For me, that means focusing on things that make me feel good. For me, that means spending time with my daughter. For me, it means going outside on a nature walk and appreciating the beauty of the trees and saying thank you. Have you ever said thank you to a tree? Do you realize how ungrateful you are if you have never said thank you to a tree, or gone to the ocean to say thank you for being water? We literally need trees and the ocean to survive. Literally would die. We are 70% water. The water in the ocean evaporates and turns into the water that we drink. No matter what water you're drinking, it comes from the ocean. Trees breathe you. They breathe out the air that you breathe in. And you ain't never said thank you to a tree? Come on, man. Go say thank you to a tree and really feel that gratitude, because we are in a symbiotic relationship with all these different things and on so many different levels. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now, but gratitude is the foot in the door that allows the spiritual awakening to happen. So whatever is on your heart as a way to show thanksgiving on this day of Thanksgiving. I'm not going to get into the other stuff about this day because you know it's controversial. We're not going to talk about that. I give regard to those who did suffer on this day many, many years in the past, and I don't overlook the pain that you caused. But in light of introducing and cultivating more beauty in the world, find whatever is meaningful, whatever way is meaningful for you to give thanks, and do it. Write down 10 things that you're grateful for in your journal. Go give your mom a hug. Give your dad a call and say, hey, I love you. Find a way to cultivate within yourself that feeling of thankfulness and gratitude. That is the first step towards your spiritual awakening, or whatever you were thinking about this week. Peace, love, and many blessings.